What's up, YouTube? I have not, how y'all doing, man? I have taken a nice interest in this, this Tom guy. It's not over. Border, what's that? Cause Tom Homan. Tom Homan warns the U.S. will see more of this. They're going to see much more of this. And I don't blame them, man. I mean, think about it. You got rules. Those who break the rules need to be held accountable. They need to get out the country. They hiding. So you got all these rules for the people. Then you got the citizens and everything saying, the ICE is not doing, they shouldn't do that. They bothering people that's innocent and all this stuff. Well, hey, everything is not neat and perfect, man. If that's the case, if it was neat and perfect, then they wouldn't be doing all the stuff they doing. They would have been like, oh, I'm here illegal. Let me just walk back across the border. Then it wouldn't be none of this stuff. These people are hiding. They ain't in that doing anything. They wasn't bothering nobody. Yeah, you're right, but they here illegally, and that's bothering the economy. Man, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's check this bad boy out.
President Trump's border crackdown yielding major results. Border crossings plummeting to record lows in June. 25,000 total nationwide encounters recorded and just over 8,000 apprehensions. These are the lowest numbers in recorded CBP history. The Trump administration may also reopen Alcatraz as a federal prison, including housing illegal migrants who have committed crimes.
Man, there you go. There you go. Use your resources. Let's clean up this country. I mean, it may be ugly. Close your eyes. If you don't like what you're seeing, just close your eyes. That's all. Read a book.
Attorney General Pam Bondi and Interior Secretary Doug Burgum touring the facility yesterday. Here's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
This was an idea of the president. He spoke about it in May, and he directed his administration to review a reopening plan for Alcatraz if it is possible, which is why the Attorney General and the Secretary of Interior have traveled there today. And just to follow up, Libby, on who the president wants to see housed in Alcatraz, the worst of the worst criminals in this country, both American criminals who convict heinous crimes, but also illegal alien criminals before deportation as well.
Well, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem in talks with 5 other Republican governors about building their own versions of the migrant detention center in Florida, known as Alligator Alcatraz. I want to bring in White House Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, good morning. It's always great to speak with you, sir. The work that you're doing is incredible. And congratulations on the lack of apprehensions. I mean, to see these new numbers come from CBP is I think, such a comfort to many Americans. What do you make, though, of this idea of Alcatraz in San Francisco becoming a place for illegals to be housed before they're deported?
Well, first of all, let me give credit to the most secure border in the history of this nation, to President Trump, his leadership, his executive orders, and the men and women of the Border Patrol, the 20,000 men and women standing on that front line every day, 24/7. So God bless them. They're out there doing America's work. Look, I'm with the president. I mean, we need detention beds. Thank goodness we got the big beautiful bill passed, because right now we got about 59,000 in custody. But this morning I woke up, we got less than 400 beds available, 400 empty beds right now. We'll fill them, by noon. So we're constantly chasing our tail, trying to get as many removal flights as possible to clear up some more beds, so we can continue arresting the worst of the worst. So I'm with the president. We need the beds. We got to get the 100,000 beds, maybe even more. We have the money to do it. So we can't rest. We got to get out there right now and get as many beds as we can, as many transportation contracts as we can, both over the ground and in the air, and as many contractors as we can, and boots on the ground.
Yeah.
So we're not waiting. We're moving quickly.
Well, California's Alcatraz is a popular tourist attraction. I do want to say it, and I did hear Secretary Bondi say that basically or the Attorney General, that it would be expensive to switch it over. But what do you make of this idea of these other states that could do something similar to what they've done in Florida, which is Alligator Alcatraz? I mean, this facility was created very quickly, and many lawmakers have been down there. They said that it is safe. It is not, all of these, the Democrats yelling and saying it was going to be dangerous. It is not. But this is a way. What other states would you like to see give you the beds that you need to make sure that these deportations are carried out successfully and quickly?
They're going to be staying in those campers? Or maybe those are the campers for the people who working on the daggone thing. Man, shoot. That joint look better than my house. With the pop outside, I know it's nice and new.
But this is a way. What other states would you like to see give you the beds that you need to make sure that these deportations are carried out successfully and quickly?
I would like every state to step up, but they won't. I mean, I think the red states know that's a place where we can have facilities, and the states have an interest in this too, because they got to understand criminal aliens are in every state in this country. MS-13 is now in every state of this country. TDA is in 41 states of this country. The border problem under Joe Biden wasn't just a Texas and Arizona problem. 97% of those across the border didn't stay in Texas and Arizona. They're in every city in this country. So we'd like every state to step up. So Governor DeSantis led on that. It's a great facility, and we'll build facilities that are at our detention standards. And if you look at the ICE detention standards, go to ice.gov and look at detention standards. We have the highest detention standards in the industry. Well, I'll compare our detention standards to any state or federal facility in the country.
Well, I want to move to another issue with regards to the border, because ICE agents are facing a staggering, and we've talked about it this week on the program, 830% increase in assaults over the last year. Democratic lawmakers and state leaders are still pushing for legislation to unmask these ICE officers, even as agents are saying that they're being doxxed. Their families are being put in danger. These are documented threats against people trying to do their jobs. And Fox News' very own Matt Finn interviewed an ICE agent whose personal information was posted online. Watch what he told Matt.
My 3 kids, and she doesn't have the ability to protect herself like I do. Every night before my family goes to sleep, I sit with them, tell them everything's going to be okay. When they do end up falling asleep, I take it upon myself to walk around our house to make sure all the cameras are working, check everything to make sure it's powered up, and that's become the unfortunate routine now.
What do you make that, Tom? I mean, you've spoken about having to live apart from your family because you've had a barrage of death threats, but it's happening to these agents as well.
Like I do, I have 9 cameras on one house, 11 cameras on the other. But bottom line is, I'm the Border Czar, so I expect that. But the men and women who are out there serving this nation every day, 3 o'clock this morning, maybe you're not, but while most of us are sleeping, the men and women of ICE are out there in surveillance trying to arrest the worst public safety threats and national security threats. We're at a point now with those who enforce the law, the bad guys, and those who broke the law, the victims. And you're exactly right. Members of Congress have emboldened people on the left, the nuts, now are emboldened. If if a member of Congress can compare ICE to a terrorist group or to the Nazis, then I have the right to attack them and attack their families. So the members of Congress need to stop the rhetoric, because I said 2 months ago, if this rhetoric continues, there'll be bloodshed, and I was right. Unfortunately, I was right. A man was killed trying to attack a Border Patrol facility in Texas. And in the same week, they tried to ambush ICE agents at a facility in El Dorado, Texas. And it's not over. We're going to see more of this unless the rhetoric stops. ICE is enforcing the laws that Congress enacted. If Congress doesn't like what ICE is doing, then change the law. They're not making this up. And as far as the other people ICE is arresting, they're arresting people that federal immigration judges ordered removed. Their job is to execute those orders. ICE is doing their job, making America safe every day. So the rhetoric needs to stop.
Doing their job. Very well said. Before you go, 5 Iranian nationals and 2 Uzbekistani nationals are all under arrest for trying to cross the northern border illegally. They've been detained. They're awaiting deportation, Tom. You've been warning about Iranian sleeper cells in the U.S.
And look, I'm glad they're apprehended. Another good thing about the big, beautiful bill, we can put more resources on that northern border. We don't have enough resources. We don't have enough boots on the ground. We don't have enough technology. I've been working with the leadership of Canada about how we can better secure that border. The big, beautiful bill give us more boots on the ground, more technology, and Canada's offering to make that border solid from the north-south. So we're working with them. We'll see where it goes, but all attention's on the northern border, and we understand that that's a vulnerability.
Tom, before you go, I have to say that, at 4 o'clock this morning, I was in Times Square, going through Times Square, coming to work. And you know what I saw for the first time in probably 3 years? Tourists walking around Times Square. Not Venezuelan gang members, Trinidad. I saw tourists enjoying the city of New York. That's because of the southern border being closed and the ICE agents, these men and women that are doing their job. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Tom Homan.
Wow.
You got it.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll see you soon.
That right there is very interesting because to see a difference that quick, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. My eyes got wide open like a Christmas tree once that female was set on fire in New York on the subway station, man. That person was in the United States illegally for the second time. The way people are walking across that border, the way they dropping kids over top of the walls of the border, the way people are sneaking into the border and getting into this country, and the way the government, the Border Patrol people are being paid off to allow this to happen, allegedly. You got to say allegedly, because I'm just going by the proof I seen. I don't have no proof. I'm just going by the proof I seen. But anyway, I got one more video for y'all, man. This is Trump border. This is the same thing, but talking about ICE, just a little different perspective. Shout out to Tom, man. I think he's doing an excellent job. Check this out.
Continuing our conversation with White House Border Czar Tom Homan. Tom, you mentioned right before we went to break criminals and national security threats. But according to ICE data, a growing number of those detained, 46% of the current detainees, are not criminals. They are here illegally, which is a crime, but they don't have other felonies on their records. Is that a trend that's going to continue? And how should Americans come to understand that not everyone in detention now, or probably likely in the future, are going to be these criminals or national security threats?
Well, a couple of things. It's just not felons that are criminals. You got misdemeanors, too. And the media is taking the data. They're saying, well, they're not a criminal alien because they haven't been convicted. But they're pending criminal charges, which means we found them in a county jail, which means they're probably not a choir boy. So the criminal numbers are much higher than a lot of the media is reporting, because they're simply not counting misdemeanors. They're not counting, those that are pending criminal charges. But we are focused on public safety threats and national security threats, and numbers prove it. However, I've been clear from day one. I mean, sanctuary cities especially, a lot of the non-criminals are being arrested in sanctuary cities because we're out looking for the criminal because they chose to release them in the community. We got to go to the community and find them. And when we find them, if we find them, many times they're with others that are in the United States illegally, but not a criminal target. Well, they're coming too. Once our ICE agents, you're going to enforce the law, you're going to uphold the oath you took. Unlike the last administration who told ICE agents, you can't arrest simply for simply being here illegally. They got to be convicted of a serious crime before you can even target them for arrest. We're getting back to what the law says. ICE agents are going to arrest people being in the country illegally. We still focus on public safety threats and national security threats, but if we find an illegal alien in the process of doing that, they're going to be arrested too. If you're in the country illegally, you're not off the table. That's why we want the non-criminals to take advantage of the CBP Home app. Put your affairs together, and go home and leave yourself an opportunity to come back under a legal program, whether it's a visitor visa, a tourist visa, a work visa, or maybe you have a U.S. citizen child here that can petition for you someday to be a part of this country. Leave and make those positions available, because here's what's going to happen. We have to find you, formally deport you. There's a statutory bar placed on you, anywhere from 5 years to 20 years to never, ever coming back to the United States, depending on your specific case. Leave yourself an opportunity to come back to the greatest nation on earth the legal way.
Wait a minute. So I think that's what the problem is. A lot of people are thinking that okay, these people came here illegally. But they haven't done anything. They ain't bothered nobody. They became friends with me and I'm friends with them. So I want them to stay. Really? That's how it should work. And maybe that's what the problem is. A lot of people believe that should be, this is a free country, free world. Then if they got here and they made it all the way up to be my neighbor, I should be able to be friends with them. I don't, nah, man. That's where the problem at right there. They got to go. I'm sorry.
Tom, you mentioned also the very low number of illegal border crossings. The administration, the president touts this justifiably almost every day. Why then does there need to be $46 billion to finish the border wall? If you have minimized crossings, why do we need a physical barrier for some 2,000 miles along the U.S.-Mexico border?
Because we got to make these changes permanent. Border walls work. Every place a border barrier's been built, or the river buoys have been put in the river, every place we put a barrier in place, illegal immigration went down, illegal drug flow went down. Also, a lot of this money going to include technology. When Joe Biden stopped building the wall, he also stopped putting the technology, the really important technology, in the existing wall that we built, which allows agents to talk to one another because there's so many dead zones on the southern border. It also adds technology to let us know if someone's approaching the wall, climbing the wall, digging under the wall. That's a very important technology we need. But we got to continue the wall and make it a permanent fix, because we don't know. Look, the next administration come in and undo everything. But we have a permanent structure in place. It works. And I think everybody should agree when it should be a nonpartisan issue is technology we're going to use at port of entries. So we catch more of the contraband at the same time, making legal trade more efficient, faster to come through the port of entry, but at the same time catching that contraband, the drugs and illegal weapons. I think everybody can agree to that. It should be a nonpartisan issue. That money's needed on the border to make these changes, this positive change, more permanent.
Last question, Tom, and I know you'll come back. We'll continue our conversation. But according to the Deportation Data Project, arrests in Los Angeles are up 69%, 57% up in Chicago, up 161% in Miami, but only up 11% in New York. How come?
New York has, they got a difficult government. It's a sanctuary city. It's a large, sprawling city. We don't have enough resources in New York, which is why President Trump committed 2 weeks ago. We are going to double down on sanctuary cities. For instance, Florida. Every sheriff in Florida is working with us. Every sheriff in Florida takes a detainer. So we know we got less of a problem in Florida because we know public safety threat, illegal aliens in jails aren't going to be released in the community. They're going to be given to us. So we're going to send extra resources from Florida to New York because we know they're releasing public safety threats every day. They're releasing national security threats every day. Hundreds of people walk on Rikers Island every week. Well, we're going to send more resources there. We're going to double down and triple down in New York. So you say that now, Garrett, Major, but watch what's coming. We're going to send a lot of resources and make sanctuary cities our priority.
This is a continuing conversation. Tom Homan, you're always welcome. I hope you come back.
You got it. Thank you.
I just learned something. I didn't know that. I mean, like, yeah. Why in different parts of the state, New York is pushing against this man. I'm going to let y'all know that, man. That dude that's running for whatever. I don't know too much about politics. Only thing I know is they are letting people, I don't want to say Democrats is letting people in. They are allowing people to come across that border way too easy. The government, and when I say the government is allowing people to come through, because the system they had in place where people don't have identification, they can show an ID on their cell phone or a written note, I belong here. They allow, if you take too long to do this, a couple of ladies got off the line because it's like, push them through. Don't hold them up. You gotta, they flag this. If you flag it, it go to somebody else and they let it through anyway. It's too easy to get into this country. I say that because I seen that. I can't reiterate or explain all this stuff in full detail, but if you saw what I saw, you'd be like, damn, Uncle Mike, right. There are people that left their job because of how easy it is to get people into this country. And these people looking like, man, you got kids coming across the border with a note on and it's a foreign kid being picked up by somebody that don't even look. They even look at the daggone places where they done sent, I don't know, 13 to 50 something people to this one address to adopt kids. Now, come on now. It's way too obvious that something ain't right. So I wanted to see how much they gonna clean up, man. And so far, man, they've been cleaning the house like a mother. Good God Almighty, baby. They've been cleaning up house. Trust me when I tell you this, man. Don't. Everybody ain't perfect, man. And I know one thing, Trump cleaning up and making this, but he got a hidden agenda for doing that. That's a whole different video. Make the country safe. This is what Trump doing, y'all. Allegedly. Make the people in the United States safe. Take the jobs away. Take their money away. And see what they're going to do then. They're going to depend on us for everything. You got AI coming. You got the robots coming. All the robots and all the computers and stuff going to do all the jobs. And what we going to do? Well, at least they ain't going to hurt each other. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.